Apotheosis Chapter 39. When Mo Can saw this, he secretly pulled on Luo Zheng's sleeves and said, "Let's just change locations." He couldn't afford to provoke these people, but he could still hide from them, right? Luo Zheng only minded his own business as he ate, not raising his head, nor paying him any attention. "I told you to get lost, did you not hear me?" When that young man saw that Luo Zheng didn't move at all, he slammed his palm on the dining table. This dining table was made from rock wood, so it was exceptionally sturdy. When that young man's palm landed on the dining table, a palm imprint was left behind. This young man's palm strength was clearly powerful. Luo Zheng continued to eat with his head lowered, chewing and swallowing slowly, as if the great disturbance around him had nothing to do with him. "My ass." When the young man saw that Luo Zheng still didn't react, he instead spat into Luo Zheng's plate, saying with a sneer, "Let's see how you're going to eat this." Luo Zheng suddenly stood up. A hand reached out like lightning, grabbing that young man's collar, while his other hand clenched into a fist, clearly about to smash down. However, right at this time, Mo Can on the side pulled Luo Zheng back, saying urgently, "Brother Luo Zheng, you can't fight here. According to Blue Cloud Sect's rules, if disciples fight each other, points will be deducted. If your points aren't enough, you'll be kicked out of Blue Cloud Sect in the lightest case, or locked up in Purgatory Mountain in the worst case." When he heard Mo Can's words, Luo Zheng also calmed down. After joining Xiao Yufeng for a few days, he also understood these rules. Before Luo Zheng grew up, these rules were like a pool of lightning, impossible to cross. Zhou Xian had said this before, and instructor Su Lingyun had also mentioned this to them. This young man had obviously come prepared. His goal was to lure him into a fight and force him to violate the sect rules so that he could be chased out of the Blue Cloud Sect. Thinking of this, a faint smile suddenly appeared on Luo Zheng's face. He let go of his hand, then stared at the young man and said slowly, "I don't know who ordered you to make trouble for me, but to be honest, I'm worried about your IQ. You can only think of such a despicable way to provoke me. Since you want to die so much, I'll give you a chance to challenge me. How about it?" Luo Zheng's words were exactly what the young man wanted. He laughed wildly and said, "Haha, I was afraid that you would be like a coward and not dare to accept the challenge. Since that's the case, let's meet in the arena. Whoever doesn't go is a bastard." According to the Blue Cloud Sect's rules, disciples were strictly prohibited from fighting among themselves. Once discovered, they would be severely punished. However, the Blue Cloud Sect was originally a holy land of martial arts. Those who practiced martial arts were hot-blooded and vigorous. It was impossible for there to be no conflicts between the millions of disciples. The solution was to go to the arena. This kind of arena was on every mountain peak. Xiao Yufeng was naturally no exception. Wait, everyone, let's talk things over. There's no need to settle everything in the arena." The one who spoke was Zhou Xian. He had just entered the cafeteria when he saw this hostile scene. He hurriedly rushed over to mediate. "Zhou Xian, who do you think you are? What matter do you have to interfere in?" The young man sneered and said, "This brat has already agreed to go to the arena. It's too late for regrets. I can give him 3 days. After 3 days, wait to collect his corpse." After the young man finished speaking, he turned around and left with his people. "I say, Luo Zheng, of all the people you could provoke, why did you have to provoke him?" Zhou Xian asked with a face full of anxiety. Mo Can came up and explained, "Brother Zhou Xian, this matter is not Brother Luo Zheng's fault. They took the initiative to cause trouble. Even so, you should still hide. That guy is not to be trifled with. His name is Su Lai. Among the tens of thousands of outer disciples in Xiao Yufeng, he is ranked 30th. Although he has not stepped into the Xiantian realm, he is still a half-step into the Xiantian realm." It was no wonder that Zhou Xian was anxious. Luo Zheng was only at the pinnacle of the viscera refining realm. Yet, he actually agreed to go to the arena with a half-step into the Xiantian realm expert. In Zhou Xian's eyes, it was undoubtedly an act of suicide. Half-step into the Xiantian realm. He is ranked 30th. What should we do? Mo Can had seen Luo Zheng's strength before. However, when he heard the words, half-step into the Xiantian realm, he was still shocked. Although Mo Can knew that Luo Zheng's strength was outstanding and was not comparable to an ordinary viscera refining realm expert, there was still the marrow refining realm between him and the half-step into the Xiantian realm. The gap was too big. Half-step into the Xiantian realm. Luo Zheng frowned. In the trial of blood, Luo Zheng had indeed relied on his own strength to kill a level 5 mirage beast. That demon's strength was comparable to a human in the Xiantian realm. However, there was a certain degree of coincidence and luck involved in killing that demon. That demon only had the strength and defense of a Xiantian realm expert. After all, it did not have intelligence and could not control quintessential yuan. Moreover, Luo Zheng was quick-witted enough to throw out the broken flying knife. If it wasn't for the broken flying knife that showed its power at the critical moment, he would have been eliminated long ago. I think we should report this matter to Mentor Su. Don't participate in the arena. At this critical moment, Zhou Xian thought of the mentors in Xiao Yufeng. Strictly speaking, the mentors in Xiao Yufeng could not be considered the disciples' masters. Mentor Su, for example, would not interfere with the disciples' cultivation under normal circumstances. Every day, they would issue missions, organize various activities within the sect, maintain the order of each mountain, and give out various rewards. However, they would not directly guide the disciples' cultivation. In contrast, they were more like Xiao Yufeng's managers. Zhou Xian was right. It was better to let Su Lingyun intervene in this kind of matter. Luo Zheng, who had been silent for a long time, finally shook his head. This person is coming for me. I can't avoid him even if I want to. What's more, I, Luo Zheng, have already agreed to participate in the arena. If I shrink back because of this small trouble, I'm afraid my martial heart will be damaged by more than half. To walk the path of a martial artist, one had to rely on an obsession. Those who could achieve great things did not have an obsession that was so strong that it made one's hair stand on end. If Luo Zheng shrank back when he encountered a problem today, then he could find a reason to shrink back when he encountered a problem tomorrow. Then, the obsession in his heart would slowly waver. Without this obsession, his path of a martial artist would come to an end. What's more, this Su Lai had inexplicably found trouble with him. He must have been ordered by someone, but Luo Zheng could not determine who ordered him. Was it Wang Hengji? Or the Fang family? Or that guy surnamed Zhuge? Luo Zheng did not want to guess anymore. No matter who wanted to play with him, he would play with them to the end. Luo Zheng, you. Alas. Zhou Xian was warm-hearted. He was completely thinking from Luo Zheng's point of view, but in his heart, he was more anxious than Luo Zheng. In the canteen, many outer sect disciples looked at Luo Zheng with eyes full of pity. An outer sect disciple who had just entered Xiao Yufeng actually accepted Su Lai's challenge and dared to go to the arena. Wasn't he looking for death? In the arena, fists and feet had no eyes. Even if he was beaten to death, he would not have to bear any responsibility. Under normal circumstances, if there was no great hatred, it was absolutely not worthwhile to go to the arena. This guy was afraid that he would not live past tomorrow. Luo Zheng did not take it seriously at all. He comforted Zhou Xian instead. It's okay. Remember to come to the arena tomorrow and cheer for me. Half-step to Xiantian. It was indeed troublesome for Luo Zheng. When he first fought with Xia Lang, Luo Zheng had just entered the viscera refining realm. It was very difficult for him to win, and at that time, Xia Lang was already an arrow at the end of its flight. Now, not only had Luo Zheng entered the peak of the viscera refining realm, but the giant furnace in his mind had also awakened 2 dragon scales. In terms of pure strength, he definitely did not lose to a marrow refining realm expert. He was even much stronger than a marrow refining realm expert. Accepting the challenge of a half-step to Xiantian realm expert was indeed a little risky, but Luo Zheng might still have the strength to fight. Zhou Xian was still deeply worried about the arena tomorrow. Luo Zheng was only in the viscera refining realm. He had only joined Xiao Yufeng for about half a month. He was considered a newcomer among newcomers. He actually dared to accept Su Lai's challenge and said that Luo Zheng was an idiot. Or an idiot. After Luo Zheng and Mo Can left the cafeteria, he thought for a long time and decided to report this news to Mentor Su. A few days ago, Mentor Su had privately warned him that if Luo Zheng had any movements or performances, he had to actively report it to her. However, what Zhou Xian did not expect was that after Mentor Su received this news, she did not have any expression on her face. She did not even have the slightest bit of worry. She only said that she would find time to watch the arena tomorrow. If not for his status, Zhou Xian really wanted to ask her why she did not stop him. Of course, Su Lingyun would not stop him. Her grand goal was to cultivate a super disciple in Xiao Yufeng who could suppress the 32 peaks. In reality, Luo Zheng was only one of Su Lingyun's candidates. In Xiao Yufeng, there were many inner sect disciples who had already matured. In terms of strength, those inner sect disciples naturally far surpassed the current Luo Zheng. However, Su Lingyun had a faint premonition that sooner or later, this youth would grow to the point where she could only look up to him. Su Lingyun would not interfere too much with this kind of disciple. Only by giving him sufficient experience, and constantly reincarnating on the edge of life and death, could his true potential be stimulated. Life and death, could his